How we doing on this Saturday, Vol Nation? This is Frank. This is the House of Orange coming at you. We're about 2 weeks away from Tennessee baseball kicking off, defending their national championship from 2024 as they take on Hofstra in Knoxville. But thought it was pretty interesting. I just called it this morning as it was apparently announced late last night. But Tennessee added a very intriguing bat to their lineup. Of course, we talked about in our previews, and I think I did a video on it as well, where we expected going in Alex Perry to be in pretty strong contention to be Tennessee's first baseman this year. Alex Perry, for whatever reason, had to leave the team for personal reasons. Wish him the best, definitely, in what he has going on. So that left him in a respect short. Now, there's still plenty of talent there. But I had somebody asked at some point, do you think Tennessee adds anybody? I said, I don't think they do. But this Diego Pavia ruling kind of changed things a bit. And that leads us to Tennessee adds former North Carolina first baseman Alberto Osuna last night. And he's a very intriguing option as well. So, I mean, he played last year against Tennessee in the College World Series. He's a guy over 3 years with North Carolina, hit 45 home runs, 140 RBIs. 259 batting average during that time, but there's some trends I like as I'm going to go through it here as well. So where he is from up here, fairly close to my neck of the woods, Malden High School up here around Greenville, South Carolina, where he was all state here. He went to Walter State, and if you go to Walter State, that's a powerhouse junior college program. In 2021, he was the JUCO Player of the Year, as he hit 459, 25 home runs, and 107 RBIs while at Walter State. Now, I'm not sure why Tennessee was not involved in that recruitment, or maybe they were, and he just decided to go to North Carolina. So that's any of it's speculation on my part. But Osuna goes to North Carolina. His first year there in 2022, he hit 265, 20 home runs, 57 RBIs. Now the numbers dipped. I don't know what happened in 2023. Well, let me hit two other things. He had 27 walks, 86 strikeouts in 2022. So he was striking out right at about less than once every 3 at-bats. It's a high number for sure. 2023, he hit 223, 11 home runs, 27 RBIs. Looks like he played in 52 games, so he must have been hurt or something along the way, or maybe, I mean, those numbers, it could have been the numbers that put him out here as well. 11 home runs, 27 RBIs. Slugging percentage was way down as he went from a 551 to a 453. Walks were down 24. Strikeouts were way down too. Of course, he had a lot less plate appearances too, but he went down to 64. But here's some numbers I'm encouraged by. As he come back 2024, started and played in all 62 games. He hit 281, 231 at-bats, 43 runs, which was the most he'd scored in 3 years, 65 hits, the most he'd had in 3 years, 17 doubles, the most he'd had in 3 years. No triples. He didn't have any triples while at North Carolina. He was back up to 14 home runs, 56 RBIs, slugging percentage back up to 537. Walks went way up from the previous year, went up to 34. Strikeouts, even in those increased appearances, as he got 52 more at-bats than in 23, still had 8 less strikeouts, only had 56 strikeouts. So that's a little over 1 per 4 to 5 plate appearances. And I think a guy with his skill set who's a slugger, I'll take that. That's not too bad with it. But this is a pretty intriguing addition to me because I really don't think that first base position is locked down. Dalton Bargo is going to play, but here's the thing about Dalton Bargo. He can play first. He can play third. He can play the outfield. He can catch. He could probably play second base if he needed to. And, of course, he can DH on it. So just because you get Osuna doesn't mean Dalton Bargo won't factor in somewhere. His versatility, and we've seen guys with the strides they've made with the bats over the years. I expect Dalton Bargo and Reese Chapman both to take a big step this year, as they had their moments last year. Inconsistency, I think, kept both of them consistently out of the lineup. But I mean, I think with Tennessee, especially, you've got basically, for me, looking at first base, I'm looking at Bargo. I think Stone Lawless factors in somewhere. Now, I've seen with some of the scrimmages, Cannon Peebles is hurt right now, has something going on, but he's still been DHing along the way. Well, that's going to put Stone Lawless in at catcher when Cannon Peebles is not playing. So if Cannon Peebles does DH, and of course, I mean, you could move Bargo back, but Tennessee's deep at catcher, and I'll attach our playlist at the end with our season preview as we've broken down very thoroughly every position on the team. But you get the possibility as well. So the story behind this, how Tennessee got Osuna, is he was out of eligibility after last year. He had exhausted his D1 eligibility. He wasn't drafted, and so he was actually transferring down to Division II Tampa. And apparently they're a pretty good program at the Division II level. He was transferring down there to finish out his college career. Now this Diego Pavia ruling comes out. That rules in, that gives him some eligibility back. So that makes me wonder if he has 2 years left, because he went to Walter State for 2 years. But I've not seen if he redshirted or played his first year there. The only thing I've seen is that monster year that he had in 2021. I would think this is his last year here as well. But this also kind of replaces, Tennessee was adding Eric Radicek from Hofstra. Ironically enough, Tennessee plays in 2 weeks. Well, he ended up getting drafted and went on to the draft. So this adds Osuna in as well. And to me, where this helps as well, he is a right-handed hitter. And I feel like this Tennessee lineup is more left-handed heavy right now, because you're going to have somewhere in the lineup, I think you're going to make room for Jay Abernathy. Gavin Keelan's left-handed. Andrew Fisher's left-handed. Dalton Bargo, Reese Chapman, they're left-handed. Of course, Cannon Peebles can switch hit. But you don't have as much right-handed depth, I don't think. I mean, there's some guys with lots of potential in there, but it's unproven. So this is a dude who's done it. He's played in the College World Series. He's done it. You know, the SEC is the best baseball conference. But make no mistake about the ACC, it is really strong in baseball, too. It is a second to the SEC, but the SEC is definitely better in that regard. You had a proven bat in here, and the last ACC transfer we ended up, we got a couple of them last year. Peebles is still here. It's a prove-it year for him, but Billy Amick, I think that one worked out pretty well last year. And plus, you put Osuna in Lindsey Nelson Stadium this year. If he gets, you've got to think he's been working out. So if he was going to play at Tampa, he's already been going through everything. So it's just a matter of getting him implemented now, and how quick will they give him some opportunities in the lineup. This non-conference slate that's coming up for a month or so, that's really to figure things out before you get into SEC play. I mean, that's really, in my opinion, where it plays in. There will be lineup tweaks along the way, but the first base options to me are Bargo, Stone Lawless, Levi Clark. From what I've been told, that's a bat. He's got a great bat. It's going to be hard to keep him. There's a lot of hard to keep guys out of the lineup. So, yeah, it's hard to keep them out, but there's only so many spots here as well. And we'll see. This is still going to be a really good hitting team. Again, I don't think it's realistic to expect this team to hit as good as last year's team did. I mean, that top of the lineup was loaded. It was absolutely loaded. But I do think, though, top to bottom, it could be better, because you got to a point, the last couple spots in the lineup were really iffy on it. I think this lineup has the potential, 1 through 9, to be a very, very solid lineup. Very good lineup as well. But bringing in more baseball news that's coming up, not this Monday a week. We will do our live baseball kind of summing up preview. We'll try to bring a lot of content that week as well. Tennessee, Florida today at 12. Hopefully the Vols can bounce back. I'll have a post-game video after that is over. You guys have a great rest of your Saturday. Frank, House of Orange, Go Vols.